Hey guys, for this class you're going to need a yoga block or a Pilates softball, something that you can squeeze between your hands or your knees. So we're going to go ahead and warm up. Place that block off to the side. I want you to come into a tabletop position, hands underneath your shoulders and knees right underneath your hips. We'll do a couple of cat-cows to just warm up the spine. So I want you to press firmly into the ground, rotate the inside of your elbows facing forward, wrapping the bicep, tricep around. Then draw your navel into the spine, lift up through the pelvic floor like a Kegel exercise. You're just gonna gently lift and then tune into your breath. So inhale, with sound, exhale. So we can breathe in the nose, out the nose, or in the nose, out the mouth. All I really care about with my workouts is that you are breathing with sound. So we can do Ujjayi breath, yoga breath, or all right. So we're gonna inhale, round the back, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone between the legs, draw the navel to the spine, cat stretch. And then go the opposite direction. So now we're gonna sink the heart down, lifting the tailbone up towards the ceiling, sinking those shoulder blades down, and then gazing forward, or if that's too much, you can just gaze at the edge of your yoga mat. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze those shoulder blades, keeping the elbows nice and straight. Let's go ahead and go the other direction. Draw the navel into your spine, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin, press the ground away, and release. Other direction. So we start off nice and gentle here, and then as my core workouts go, it's going to get more intense as we go along, but it's always nice to start out nice and gentle with some really awesome movements in the spine to help warm it up. So last one here. This will also help release the hamstrings a little bit. And back to neutral. All right guys, tuck your toes. You can walk your hands out a little bit. Start out in plank pose and then downward facing dog. So from your downward dog, you should be able to glide forward and come into plank with your shoulders right over your wrists. All right, that's how we know if we're in a good down dog. Same thing here, we're gonna try to externally rotate the shoulders so the inside of the elbows face forward. You can kind of plug your shoulders back into the sockets, draw in through your rib cage, so pull in the rib cage. If you have tight hamstrings, feel free to just bend the knees here. You might get a better down dog if you bend the knees. Heels don't have to touch the ground, but if you have the flexibility, feel free to have them touch the ground. All right, drawing the navel into the spine, lifting up through the pelvic floor like a Kegel exercise. We're just gently squeezing. And then I want you to just move a little bit side to side. Just really stretching through the back, the intercostals, QL, obliques. Even I feel this through my glutes, outer hips. And let's go ahead and come on down. Forehead down, palms up towards the sky. Just take a moment, take some nice gentle breaths. Inhale, exhale. Again, inhale, exhale. If you feel comfortable, go ahead and sit on up. You can kick the legs out from under you if it bothers the knees. Reach the arms up. Take that right hand, grab that left wrist, reach it up. Inhale, exhale over to the right. And then other direction, grab the other wrist, press it up, inhale, exhale over to the left, and release. Grab the hands behind your back and really squeeze your palms together. Just give me a nice little chest stretch here. All right, I think we are warmed up, ready to begin. So we're gonna start in that downward dog shape and lift one leg up into a three-legged dog and do a little bit of inner thigh and hamstring glute work, also for the back as well. So make sure you're in a nice downward dog. This can also be modified on the elbows in a dolphin if it's too much on the wrist. And then I want you to lift up that right leg. We don't want to arch and open, okay? So no arching the back and no opening the hip like this. I want you to just lift it up. You can even look at your hips to see if they open. Close the hip off. You can point or flex, whichever one feels like you are getting a better workout. All right, I'm going to actually demi point where I'm pressing through the ball of my foot. And then I want you to keep your hips stable and just do these little tiny circles. Again, drawing in through the belly to spine, lifting the pelvic floor, not moving the hips. Not moving the hips. So, this is rather difficult. Right, stay nice and steady through the arms, steady through the hips. And imagine that you're drawing a perfect circle. We're gonna do 5 more. 3, 2, and 1. Then draw the knee into your chest. Come up to the armpit, down to the wrist, up to the armpit, and back. We're gonna do 5 of those. So that was 1. Bring it in, armpit, wrist, armpit, and back. 2, armpit, wrist, and back. 3, again, armpit, wrist, armpit. 4, you got it. Don't forget to breathe. And 5. Let's do the other side. Set yourself up in a nice 3-legged dog. Flex, demi-point or point. Lock the arms, lock the hips, and circle. And it doesn't really matter where you look here. If you have tight shoulders, it might help to look at the foot. If you have really loose shoulders, lots of flexibility, you can gaze between those thumbs. So it's been the holidays, and I don't know about you, but I haven't been working my hardest on my workouts. So this is actually really difficult. Difficult in like the most subtle of ways, or I know I'm gonna feel this tomorrow. Let's do 4, 3, don't move those hips, 2, and 1. Now, draw it in, knee to chest, armpit, wrist. This is 1, take it back. Again, 2, take it back. 3, armpit, wrist. 4, you can do it, armpit, wrist. And 1 more, we can do it, guys, armpit, wrist. And 5, release child's pose. Those wrists might need a little bit of love, those arms, roll it out, open and close a few times. I know for me, I have some carpal tunnel, so I have to do some wrist and finger flicks. All right, and it's perfectly fine as long as you kind of stretch out while you're doing these exercises. Give your wrists the opposite of what you were just doing, which was pressing. So we're gonna stretch it back a few times, fingers and wrists, shake it out. All right, we're gonna flip on over onto our back. I want you to grab that block and do a few Pilates roll-ups. So slowly, I want you to come on down, grab the block, place it between the hands, and slowly, slowly lower down. Awesome. You can leave the knees bent, or you can straighten out the legs. All right, if you want to do it straight, I want you to really focus on drawing the navel into your spine and imprinting your body down onto the ground. So reach that block overhead, squeeze it, and then you can flex the feet. And again, what we can do here is modify by bending the knees. All right, and only coming up as far as we feel comfortable. We don't have to roll all the way up. All right, you can also not use the block. You can hold on to the back of the legs and do the sequence with a little bit of support as well. All right, so there's your option. If you want to follow what I'm doing, go ahead and straighten out your body. I want you to really imprint, drawing that belly button into the spine, squeezing the block, bring it overhead, and you're going to slowly inhale, exhale, just come forward, forward, forward. You don't have to touch the toes, and then little scoop out of the belly, C curve there, a little scoop coming down. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. This is the hardest part, is the lowering down. So we'll do 10. Inhaling, exhaling, coming forward. And again, squeeze everything. All right, so we are staying in that nice compressed shape as we come down towards the ground. 3, squeezing that block. We're working the arms, we're working the chest. and adding a little bit more to these roll-ups by doing that. Good. Now number 5, take it back. And if it's too much for the shoulders, you don't have to go all the way back. Touch it forward. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Everything engaged to your pelvic floor, navel to spine. Try to lower yourself down as much as possible. 3 more, guys. Squeeze, squeeze that block, navel to spine. And back, 2 more. You should start to feel it by now if you're doing it properly. If you're not really feeling these, I want you to squeeze your abs even more, okay? So they are contracted the entire time. And maybe you hold here a little bit more, all right? These should be burning by now. I think we have 2 more. When it starts to hurt a little bit, I begin to lose count. You guys know I'm not big on counting, so you guys have to keep me on track. If I miss one, make sure you do one. Do another one, all right? And last one here, we're gonna go really, really slow. Squeezing that block, drawing that navel into the spine, tucking the tailbone between those legs, lower down slowly, very slowly, even slower than that. You can do it, heels stay on the ground, flex the feet, lower. 3, 2, and 1. Oh, all right, we need a little stretch on that one. So we're gonna cross the ankles, roll forward, go ahead and lower down onto the ground, come into this little Sphinx pose here. Elbows underneath those shoulders, lift, and just stretch out through the front, the abdominal wall. If you want more, you can kind of press up the arms straight. Nice. All right, we're gonna work on obliques now, you guys, and you can modify this by just not lowering your hips down as far. So I'm gonna show you the modifications. So what I want you to do is grab that yoga block. We're gonna place it between the legs. All right, so squeezing it between those inner thighs. You're gonna find downward dog. All right, make sure you're in a nice downward dog. So you can line up our shoulders right over our wrists. Feet are hip width apart. Lift up into your downward facing dog. Now, what we're gonna do is glide forward into a plank as we lower the left hip down first. So I'll show you what it looks like. So we're just gonna lower down, squeezing the block between the inner thighs, and then take it back up. Then do the other side. Lowering down and lifting it back up, all right? So we're gonna do 10 on each side, so a total of 20, all right? Here we go. We're gonna come down, 1, lift it back up for downward dog, 2, lift it up, 3, you'll start to really feel a burn around number 10, 5, 6, exhaling as you go down, 7, lift it up, 8, 9, keep those arms nice and straight, firmly pressing, 10, almost there guys, 11, 12, 13, woo, 14, you got it, 5 more, 5, lift it up, 4, good, 3, 2, last one, arms should be burning as well as inner thighs and obliques. Nice job, drop the block, and let's take a little break. All right, forehead down, again, open and close the wrist, stretch it out, nice job. All right guys, slowly come on up, let's flip on over, and lay on back, we're gonna take bridge pose. All right, so go ahead and walk those feet in as much as you possibly can. You can grab the yoga block to make this more intense and press it between those hands. I want you to really ground your elbows into the floor, so imprint them in to the floor, and then you're gonna press your hands together using that yoga block, okay? And then come up into a nice bridge here. So the yoga block is really, or if you have a ball, whatever you're using. You could even use a Pilates ring. We just want to really press those hands together. And you'll notice that as you press, you should feel your chest, your arms, and your core, especially your transverse abdominis, really turn on in order to bear down, to press into the block. So that's what we want, okay? Certainly is an option. If you'd rather have more stability and have the arms down, you can do that as well. But I always like to make my workouts more effective because I don't have a lot of time. So we might as well work the chest and the deep core muscles as we are doing our inner thighs, glutes, and hamstrings, right? Okay, so walk the feet together a little bit. And then I want you to really think about squeezing the legs together. All right, and you're gonna notice just by doing that you're gonna feel your glutes turn on and feel your inner thighs turn on, okay? So we're not squeezing them together, we're actually just the feeling of drawing them together, all right? So draw them together without touching the knees together, and then we're gonna take that right leg and bring it off the floor. All right, this might be hard enough, so you can just hold here, and if you can, we're gonna do 10 little circles, trying to stay completely stable in the hips, pressing into that block. We have 5 more. 3, 2, remember to breathe, and 1, bring it down. Let's do the other side, lift it up, squeeze the legs together, that feeling of drawing them together, squeeze that block, and 10, 9, don't move those hips, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, press into that block, 2, and 1. Bring it down, all the way down to the ground. Nice job, guys. Real quick here, place the block between your inner thighs, press it all the way up into your bridge. You can kind of get a little bit higher on the shoulder blades if that feels comfortable to you. Now, I want you to just press into that block for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your hips down about 20%. Do it again. Pulse it in for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the hips, 20%. Squeeze the block, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Squeeze it really hard. 3, 2, 1. Lower the hips again. Pulse it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now all the way down towards the ground, but you still have some space from between you and the floor, about 20% space here, okay? So we're gonna pulse it again for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now reach those arms up and press all the way up for 10 and lower almost to the ground. 9. As you get to the top, you're gonna squeeze the block. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it here. 10 pulses when we're done with the glutes for this section. We go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold the last one. Hold the last one, squeezing the block. You got it. 5, 4, squeeze it harder. 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Nice job. Remove that block. Bring those knees in. Stretch it out a little bit. Woo. If you need a little stretch, you can cross that right leg, figure 4. Pull it in, push the knee away, and then other side, cross, pull that knee in, push the knee away using your muscles. Nice job. All right, we're gonna move into bear sequence. So I want you to cross the ankles, roll forward, place those hands down, hop it back, downward dog. Wiggle it out a little bit. If you need a little break, you can hit pause and just stretch or take a child's pose. I'm going to teach you bear pose, bear sequence, and do a side pistol. So we're going to come forward, hover those knees. Now, if you just hover hold here, you're gonna feel your core turn on. I want you to think about that motion of tucking your tailbone under and drawing your navel into your spine, okay? Lifting up through that pelvic floor like a Kegel exercise, or like you're trying to go to the bathroom and you want to stop midstream. All right, that is the muscle I want you to squeeze. So coming into downward dog, you're gonna come forward into bear, hover. We wanna keep those knees there as you shift to the right hand and the left leg. You're gonna lift that left hand off, keep that right leg out, bring it back down to bear, switch. So left hand, right foot, extend the left leg, hold it, bring it back down to bear. All right, so that's the sequence. Let's try it again. We're gonna come forward, bear. We're gonna go right, left, bear. Okay, and we're gonna repeat that. So we're gonna do 10 times of that sequence. So each side is just one repetition, all right? So you ready? So don't worry about it if you get, uncoordinated and you fall down, because this is a little bit of coordination. I'm not the best at coordination, but it's fun, and we're gonna work some awesome deep core muscles plus some balance, all right? So here we go. Come forward, bear. We go right, left. Do it nice and slow. Right, left. We have 8 more. Right, left. 7. Woo! Hard for me to talk and count. And remember to keep my knees really close to the ground. We have 5 more. Working those obliques. 4. Keep the knees close to the ground. 3. 2. Remember to breathe. Last one. I think we did an extra, but that's okay. Bring it here. Hold your bear for 10. 9. Draw your navel to your spine. 8. 7. You got it. 6. 5. Hover those knees. 4. 3. 2. 1. Drop it down. Child's pose. Woo! Nice job, you guys. Nice deep breath. Come on up. Grab the block. Roll over. All right. You guys are doing good. Hang in there. We're almost done. All right, we've done this before in other workouts, so you'll be familiar if you've been keeping up with my quick core workouts. I want you to come on up. Bring those elbows onto the block, all right? And then what we can do with the hands is just support the head here. And I want you to pull your knees into the block and your elbows into the block. So we're creating this force between those knees and the elbows. All right, really important that you have that force. So what we're gonna do is take that right elbow and that right leg and open up. And then nice and slow, pull it back in. Do the other side. Open the elbow, point the toe, and bring it in. All right, here we go. We're gonna go 10. Nice and slow, controlled. 9. 8. And if you want to make this easier, you can just kick that leg a little bit higher. 6. 5. 4. No pulling at your neck, your head is supported. 3. 2. 1. Hold it here. Squeeze, elbows, knees, pull it in for 10. 9, really squeeze the block. 8. 7. 6, squeeze the block. 5, squeeze the block. 4, squeeze it more, shoulder blades off the ground. 2, 1. Whew. Bring it down, little bridge, stretch it out. Good job, you guys. You're doing awesome, we're almost there. Hang in there. All right, team, come on down. All right, let's go ahead and roll over onto that right side. Line yourself up in a nice straight line. So we can have the head down like so, or you can come up and support the head like I am. I want you to bend that bottom leg. This will give you a little bit more support. And then flex your top leg here. So this is my left leg. I'm gonna turn my toes down. And then what I want you guys to do is slowly bring that leg forward and then point the toe and bring it back. all right? If you want to make it more advanced, you can certainly take that bottom leg and bring it straight. I personally like it with the knee bent, but you can try both. And we want to really ground down through this left arm here. Those hips are not going to turn any which way. They're going to stay stacked, one hip on top of the other. You're going to draw your navel in, and what you're trying to do here is stabilize through the core. Okay, so we're going to use our abs to keep our hips from swaying all around. So even if you only go a little bit, but you're using your core muscles to keep those hips steady, that's great. All right, so here we're gonna do 10 of these. So we're gonna bring it forward, 10, point, bring it back. Forward, point, bring it back. 8, exhaling as you bring it back. 7, bring it forward. 6, don't let those hips move. 5, I know it's hard, you can do it. 4, point, bring it back. 3, point, bring it back, you got it. 2, point, bring it back. And last one. Woo, all right. Now, keep that leg up. I want you to turn it down and then up. Down and then up. So this is what's called turning the doorknob. Do you feel how it's working different parts of your leg? So you can feel it when you turn the toes down, that is working your inner thighs. Turn the toes up, it's working more quads, hamstrings, glutes. All right, so we're just gonna turn the doorknob. Keep going. We have about 30 more seconds of this. So my foot is flecked, turn it down and up, down and up. And again, those hips are staying completely stable, right? You're not doing anything with those hips because we just want to isolate the muscles. 3 more. 2, and 1. Oh my gosh. Woo, butt burner there. Okay. Team, go ahead and flip yourself over. Other side. Again, line yourself up, nice straight line. You can have the head all the way down. This is a little bit easier. Or come on up. It's going to work a little bit more obliques. Then bend the bottom leg if you want a little more stability, okay? And bring that leg up. So look down your body, make sure you're in a nice straight line. Hips are stacked, you're drawing your navel into your spine. You're squeezing through that pelvic floor. Stabilize here through that right hand. We're gonna bring it forward. And if the hamstrings are tight, just don't go all the way. All right, and bring it back. Keep those hips stable. 9. This is my tighter hamstring. 8. Gotta really work hard to maintain my hips from moving all around. 6, push, bring it back. 5, 4, smile, it helps. 3, 2, really exhale, push through molasses. Last one, you can do it, bring it back. Okay, now, line yourself up, flex your foot, turn your toes down. Stabilize through the core. We got it, turn the doorknob. 30 seconds here. Got my timer on. Up, heel, up, toes. Heel, toe, heel, toe. And yes, you're probably feeling the burn on the other leg as well because we just worked that leg. So if you do this class twice, make sure you do the other side first next time. Oh my gosh, this is such a burner. My buns will be burning tomorrow. Doorknob, turns, try to go a little bit faster. Again, don't let those hips move and try not to move the leg. I know I'm moving the leg a little bit because I'm dying, but there we go. Focus. 3, yes, 2, and 1. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh, let's roll on over. Hands by the rib cage. Let's push back into our child's pose. Stretch out those hips. Oh, good job, everybody. All right, Little Mermaid stretch here. Flip the legs out from under you. Lean over onto one side. Go ahead and grab top of those feet. Reach that right arm all the way over. Gaze under the armpit. And release, other side, flip the legs. I love this stretch just because it's called mermaid stretch. So sitting on that hip, reach that left arm over. And kind of pulling in through the feet to get a deeper stretch to the sides. Nice, you guys. Sit on back. A couple of little side to side, little 90-90. Roll out those hips. We're gonna do one more little exercise. And it's hard, I'm just telling you, it's hard, but it's so good for the legs. Okay, so remember with these workouts, these are full body workouts. So when we add things like the block into some of the exercises, we work the core more, we work the arms, we work the chest, and we work the back, okay? So I want you to grab your block, come on up. Now, if you are familiar with yoga, which probably you are, if you've been on my playbook for a while. I have a ton of yoga classes over in the yoga programs. Utkatasana, or chair pose, is a very common yoga pose. So typically in chair pose, we would bring the toe mounds together, heels slightly separated. Like you were sitting in a chair, you would lower down, draw your sitting bones or your hip bones down towards your heels, draw your navel in, and then without the block, we would lift the arms up, bring the hands together, and gaze at the thumb. But what I want you to do, same thing here, the Utkatasana, so knees together, feet together, heels slightly separated, toe mounds together, okay? Weight in the heels, tuck the tailbone, sink down like you're sitting in a chair. But now grab the block and place it between those hands. Try not to arch the back, okay? So really think about pulling into the navel, okay? So think about you guys taking your heels and pulling them apart actually on the floor, and that'll really activate through your glutes, okay? Then from here, you're gonna just start lifting up 1 foot at a time, maintaining the glute activation, maintaining the same knee bend that you had. Nothing's happening except for you're lifting up through those legs, that's it. Lifting up through those legs. We're gonna go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on up, little breather, shake it out, repeat. We're gonna come on down, again, draw the navel in, weight is in the heels, sitting bones down, pull the heels away from each other, and that'll activate through the glutes a little bit more. And this time, we're gonna rise up to those toes, ooh, and down for 10, 9, 8, 7, press into that block, 6, 5, 4, 3, you can do it, 2, 1, release. Oh my gosh, okay. Separate your feet about hip width, grab that block, and just a little side to side here. Whatever your body is kind of telling you. My back is a little bit tight, so I'm gonna stretch to where I feel it, feeling it all through the QL there. And then let's bend the knees really soft. If you still need the block, that's fine. Just bend the knees, you guys, a lot, so that your ribs are resting onto your thighs. Then shift a little bit forward into the toes and heels. Toes and heels. And then let's take a little walk over to the left side. Take that right arm and reach as far as it'll go. Stretch, keeping the knees nice and soft. And then walk over to the other side as far as your body will allow. Take the left arm, reach, nice and long stretch. And then back to center, cross left foot under. Go ahead and come on down. Let's lay back and do a couple of real gentle twists. So holding on to the back of the legs, coming down, I want you to cross that right leg over the left leg, open the arms up into a T, and then float the legs over to the left, letting them land wherever they land, pinning that right shoulder down to the ground. If you want a little bit more, take your hand, press it on that top leg nice and gently. And then turn your head all the way to the right. Then slowly back to center. Switch over towards the right. Gaze down the left. Nice deep breaths in and out. Drawing your belly in, lifting up again. Pelvic floor. I think I say that so much, you guys, it should be ingrained in your brain, hopefully. If not, lift your pelvic floor, you guys. Always, always, always activating, especially if you're a woman and you're getting older. Actually, all women should be engaging their pelvic floor so that we keep those muscles nice and active, so that when we're older, we don't have any problems. Go ahead and grab those knees, rock it out side to side, and then crossing the ankles, roll on up, cross the legs, and let's take a nice giant breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. You guys did so good. Thanks for joining me. Happy New Year. I hope you guys enjoy this workout. Leave me a comment, review, and let me know if you liked it. Thanks, guys.